Greetings, Club NewTone members, and welcome to this week's episode of CN Fit Tips. This week, we're going to talk a little bit about icing. Now, before I get started, I want to remind everybody that no two injuries are the same. So, if you have an injury that you have kept for upwards of 2 weeks and no improvement is seen, you should probably go see a doctor, because that's probably a reoccurring injury that's going to keep on coming, and some medical assistance is probably necessary. But with that being said, I get a lot of questions about, hey, I have an ache in my knee or an ache in my elbow or something's going wrong and it just feels sore or really hot and burning. What is your recommendation on icing? And I usually tell people I'm not really a big fan of icing, and here's why. Your body is designed to get hot when it gets hurt. So the heat is what helps protect your body. Now, if you were to ice something, that really goes against everything that your body's trying to do. So while I do recommend icing right after an injury may occur to dull the pain, that's not going to help get rid of the actual problem. So the inflammation in your joint isn't going to go away by icing. In fact, your lymph system is what is the main source of where your inflammation can get out of your body, your lymph system, so not necessarily your blood vessels. So your lymph system is not going to work if you make it cold and unable to move. Secondarily, your lymph system only works if the muscles around it actually move, because that's what pumps all that gunk out of your joint. So you have to A, make sure that it's warm, and B, move it around a lot. So what's my recommendation? You can do a couple of things. Heat is usually the best option for you. So a heat pad or warm bath, something along those lines. Compression, so wrapping that joint, not too tight, but wrapping it so that the inflammation is pushed down and kind of away from that joint is another great option. Movement, so I know it can sometimes be painful, but if you don't move that joint, you're not going to get that gunk and that inflammation and all of that stress out of that joint. And then rising, so raise that joint up a little bit, lift it just like you would, you've heard for hundreds of years. So you want to lift that joint, you want to make sure that you're compressing it, you're heating it, and you're moving it. And that's what's going to help you get rid of that injury as quickly as possible. And then make sure to do some recovery as well. If it hurts, probably shouldn't use it. That's been this week's CN Fit Tips. My name's Lucas Woody. You stay fit, members.